Hello, Taurus North Node. This is Samara, your Feminist Alchemist. Welcome to your reading for October New Moon 2021, which is around October 6th, and it will lead into the new moon of November, or just before that new moon. So we're looking at, October 6th to about November 3rd, 2021. This is a general reading, so the messages may not resonate with everybody. Take whatever feels good to you, whatever strikes a chord, and you can let the rest float away into the ether for whoever that message is meant for in your Taurus North Node collective. If you're feeling this reading, give it a like, a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe or click the bell to be notified when I upload, which is every new moon. So let's talk about what the North Node is. It is not a planetary object. It is a mathematical point in your birth chart that signifies your source of soul expansion in this lifetime. It tells us where our growth opportunities lie, and once we accept our North Node calling, we can find soul fulfillment beyond our wildest imagination. I have a short video that covers the general meaning of the North Node as I've been guided to understand it from my spirit team. Plus, you can check out the specifics of your North Node sign, Taurus North Node, explained in depth by YouTube astrologer Astro Finesse. Both links have been posted in the description box below. So lastly, there is an extended reading available for you called Everyday Alchemy and Practical Magic. It's about a 20-minute video where I consult the divine about tools you can use to support you on your North Node journey for the month of October into November. So we'll look at crystals, herbs, possibly some essential oils, definitely colors. I also channel some affirmations that you can use as personal mantras for the month, channeled from your divine team. So that is all for the introductory part of things. We are going to do a reading that involves your universal energies, your 5D energies, and your 3D energies that are affecting you during this North Node journey in October. And then, so if you were present for last month's reading, I did look at let's say what's in your soul's consciousness, kind of in your karma, past lives, what's coming up to be resolved from that aspect. This month I've been guided by my spirit team to do more, to bring in the wisdom of your ancestors. So I switched out some decks so that I can capture more of that energy. They are saying that that is what is more present in your life, in our lives as a collective at the moment, is the coming up of familial patterns, ancestral wounding, and just healing down our ancestral line in general. So with that, I will get to it. We'll start with The Path of the Soul by Cheryl Lee Harnish. I've already pre-shuffled all of your decks, of which there are many today, Taurus North Node. So we'll have a lot to say, a lot to experience. This usually takes me about 1 hour. It could be a little longer, so you may want to grab something to eat or get a cup of tea or a glass of wine, whatever tickles your fancy. Now, Intuitive Arts Guide. Taurus North Node, Third Eye. Egyptian Eagle. Okay, there we go. Ooh, and can't remember if this is called angels or guardian angels, but birth of angels, I believe. Yeah, does very much look like that. Okay, so what is in your universal energies, Taurus North Node? Well, automatically right here, and this is, I know it's going to sound general, but in general, we're all going through a lot of shifting and transformation right now. So what I'm seeing in most readings, or all the readings I've done so far for the month of October, is a lot of transformational energy and a lot coming in through from spirit realms, from the third eye, streaming through your third eye, in the form of getting intuitive impulses and seeing your situation in a different light. Okay, for some of you, this birth of an angel is a child. So someone is getting pregnant, giving birth, especially in conjunction with this intuitive arts guide, which is not directly, there's another card in this deck that is like creativity, but intuitive arts guide is kind of, it also has a very creative energy. So for some of you, this is going to show up as a birthing of something that is very nurturing to yourself and or the broader society. So and Egyptian eagle is a very like passionate energy. Ooh, wow, there's a lot going on already just here. I see a major, like a transformation that you cannot avoid as much as it seems like a daunting process. So you're getting, the universe is streaming in very intense energy in terms of creating something, whether that be a child, bringing in a life, or bringing in a project, a venture that is deeply meaningful to you, like through your intuitiveness. I'm getting, for some of you, all of these impulses are coming through your dreams. Because what it is that you are going to produce on the other end is like an energy that is healing and meaningful, not just to you, like it serves a much greater purpose. But as a Taurus North Node, they're telling me it can come about as something that just is nurturing your own good, but the person that it will change you into, or what it's going to bring into the world, is going to be like an angel to the whole of society, or to, let's say, your sphere of influence, right? It's going to make a difference. So either this transformation is making you into this birth of an angel, someone who's going to make a significant difference in people's lives or in your world, or you're bringing in, some of you are bringing in that life in terms of a child who will be a very special and gifted being. But whatever it is, it's intense in a good way. It's intense in a really good way. Because I just keep coming back, because this is card 44 as well, which is a very, trust in the angels. It's also like the 4 is the gateway, 4th dimension, the gateway between the 3rd dimension and the 5th dimension. So it's feels a lot like something that helps people navigate kind of the shadowy parts of their lives, the parts that inhibit them from being their highest expression in the world. And there's something about you and your endeavors that is going to provide like an easing of that passage. All right. If there's someone out there having a baby, congratulations. You're bringing a very special life into the world. So I'm going to check the 5D. These are the promptings that are kind of coming in through your subconscious, through your higher self. You may see it in synchronicities and in your intuition. And ultimately, it's like where your soul is reaching right now and is prompting you to take steps to get into that energy, into that vibration. That's how I would describe it, at least how I'm pulling the cards in this spread. Whoop. All of these. And this one. Okay, so where's this one go? It's towards the end. All right. So they want this like this, I believe. Yes? Yeah, I can read it like that. Okay. We have intimacy, prosperity, integrity, intuition, connection, freedom, surrender. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm getting whatever it is you are being prompted to usher into the world right now with this creativity and through your dreams. The inner promptings that you're getting, one of the reasons that you're not necessarily putting it out there, all out there just yet, is because it's something that is very close to your heart or exposes you in a way that you don't necessarily feel comfortable with. So maybe it's you're letting people see a facet of you that you don't normally let people see, or you haven't up to now. Because on your opposite polarity, so if your north node is in Taurus, your south node is in Scorpio. And Scorpio is a very, let's call it mysterious sign. Their still waters run deep. There's always a lot going on under the surface. And people kind of mistake that energy as being, what's the word I'm looking for? Fraudulent or shisty, or trying to get one over on somebody by not telling the whole truth. But the point is that they're just deeply intuitive and it takes them a while to trust people enough to show that depth of themselves. So as a Scorpio South node, like you've kind of mastered this mysterious realm. And your opposite on the spectrum is the Taurus, that is more, let's say, nurturing, letting people in, very earthy, ruled by Venus. So there's much more openness in a Taurus. So the pathway to intimacy is something that may cause you discomfort, but is meant to be on this journey for you. And what you have in your treasure chest of your heart and of your third eye, of your visions. Maybe I'm getting that some of you are a little self-conscious about sharing your visions, for example, because they seem crazy, or they're so unique that they're too different for people to really get a grasp on. But that is where your prosperity lies. Like when you feel comfortable enough to really show your visions to the world and really open yourself up, because it's all of what's going on inside of you, all of what's developing inside of you is actually the key to your prosperity. You are to open yourself in a very open and honest way. So for some of you, this intuitive arts guide is totally having to do with creative pursuits. And the integrity card is saying, like, don't moderate and edit yourself for the sake of fitting in to anyone's box or to what you feel would be the what people are looking for, I'm going to go to intuition, because you have the third eye as well. So you have intuition, and it's just confirmation, that your third eye is being opened, and your dreams and visions are guided by a higher purpose and by a divine inspiration. So they're asking you to see beyond what is and see what you want to be, what you want things to be. So seeing beyond the current reality of things. So I'm getting that for some of you, this is very much in like an art form or in a type of work where people are doing things in a certain way, and you have a different way of doing things that could be very successful, but you're not able. There's something inside of you that is keeping you from actually pursuing that train of thought or sharing that with people. So they're saying don't feel limited. I'm just going down a rabbit hole now because I'm being taken there. So if I'm losing some of you because I'm getting specific, that's okay. Just hang out and hopefully I'll get brought back to something that applies directly to you. But so these certain Taurus North nodes out there who are working in a profession or in an artistic discipline where you are hyper aware of what sells or of what is acceptable, let's say, and popular. They want you to completely surrender to your visions and put it out there that you want to connect with people who are equally as visionary, because, as I said in the beginning, like what you are birthing is something that is going to be very healing to the collective. So like they don't want to scare you off of going down that road, but it is like in your divine purpose. It is meant to be. It's divinely inspired. And they're encouraging you to go down that path. And this, they're telling me that this applies to like a more broader section of you than it may seem at first. So some of you may have to do a little, pause this and do a little meditation and think about like, where have I had some really awesome ideas? When have I woken up from a dream feeling totally pumped about trying something out, but then in my reality, I am hesitant to share that, or I don't feel like it's worth pursuing, or I already believe that if I pursue it, that it's not going to be successful or not going to be embraced. And they say, yeah, they want you to go for it anyway, and because freedom, and they're pointing me to what it says on the card, the energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression, and bold exploration. So they want you to feel free to expand, and free to be, free to utilize this energy that's propelling you into a much more full-bodied and fulfilling expression of yourself. I'm really getting that some of you, your dreams are really wacky or intense, and the few of you out there who are having a child that is due soon which means that you're in your like last weeks of your pregnancy. Some of you, not just the woman who's carrying the child, but also the other parent that's involved. Some of you are getting some very intense dreams, like wacky, crazy, ultra high definition dreams. And they're saying that, this is just showing you the intensity of the soul that you are birthing into the world. Generally, Taurus North Node, I'm getting that a lot of you are having ultra HD dreams. And they want you to surrender to those dreams and kind of try to find a way, learn from them, journal them if you can, and let go of trying to control or expecting a status quo. Like, when is it going to get back to normal? Like, why? Ultra HD dreams are great. They're free. They cost less than Netflix. They have a lot more to teach you and tell you. They don't have any commercial breaks. They're great. And you can use them to manifest great things in your life, and also to inform your decisions once you get to a point where you can really tap into your dreams. They're quite an amazing gift. I'm going to go to the 3D energy. So this is just showing how these promptings are showing up in your physical world. So your higher self is nudging you to make some decisions that bring you into this higher energy. And we'll see what these nudgings look like. Okay, this card, devil. So this is, the deck I'm shuffling here is the Tarot of the Divine, but I'm only using the first 22 cards, the majors, to identify the major themes in your life at the moment. that are coming up to help usher you into a higher vibe, right? Waiting for one more card to pop out. It will take as long as it takes. I hope you like some what's it called? ASMR? All right. So we have the Empress, the High Priestess, the Devil, and the Sun. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm getting the exact kind of mirroring of of the cards you have out here already in the universal energy, because I have the Empress, who to me in this spread is feeling like a very pregnant energy, and she is manifesting with the cycles of nature. It's the first thing they're giving me. Manifesting with the cycles of nature. So I'm getting that you are being presented with an opportunity to I'm going to say the words that they gave me, the opportunity to level up your life in a way that feels very natural to you. So it feels meant to be. For some of you, it's been a revelation, like, why didn't I figure this out before? Or why didn't I notice that before? Notice that that's something I like to do, or that's something that makes me feel good. For some of you, you've discovered something that makes you feel good, and it feels very difficult to go back to doing things just out of obligation, or because it's the thing that people do, or because it's just your normal job or life where there's security and the known. This is very much like being asked to go with the cycles of life. So some of you are resisting the end of a chapter as well. Because it's a scary kind of gateway to go through. Not because there's any danger there, but because it's unknown to you. And the High Priestess for me is the third eye. She's a very intuitive manifester. She manifests like less with actions and more with vibrations. So I'm once again getting this energy of like you've been shown the vibration of what you can create, and like the higher vibe that you could live in with more joy, with more fulfillment. This is not in the reverse. There's no cards here in the reverse. So I'm not getting a big like resistance energy in that respect. I'm just getting that you've been shown a lot of what can be, and the only card that seems to, bring out a little bit of resistance or fear is this Devil card, but it's not anything scary. It's just that you may feel scared because of the unknown. And so your own thought processes could be what is holding you from making that move forward. Now, for some of you, I have that some of you that are expectant parents are afraid, as any parent would be, of, financial security, being able to provide. Because right now they're showing me this snake as, often I see this snake as like the Kundalini. It's red, it's root chakra. It's a very basic fear, existential fear. And that existential fear could be house, home. It could be the fear of an ego death, right? The fear of not being able to see yourself how you've always seen yourself, right? And which we come to identify with very strongly in our lives, is how we see ourselves and the story that we tell about ourselves. And in this case, I'm hearing that they're really only thoughts. They're only thoughts of, they're only worries and concerns. They don't have any basis in the reality of what you can create and of what universal energies are supporting you. Because they're pointing to me. So the devil for me is this Egyptian eagle energy here, communicating very directly from the universal, rebirth, transformation is not easy, even when there's passion and love behind it, right? There's always that little nagging, what if? But they want to remind you that, if you can tame this snake, and just by acknowledging to yourself, there are great things happening, there's transformation happening, and as a human being, apprehension, entering the unknown is natural, right? And I love how this is like in a forest. When you think about it, when humans are out at night in a forest, it's very natural for us to feel on edge. What's out there in the darkness, we don't know. And we have to be prepared for whatever may come for us in the dark, right? And they just want you to know that in the dark, there's actually nothing but you lurking. So you can just kind of take it as part of the process and not get caught up in it. And the sun, also comes with this sunny birth of an angel card for me. This is shining the light on these shadows. So the sun is illuminating your situation to you with your intuition. And when you're honest with yourself about what the lay of the land looks like right now for you in your life, that's when that's when the divine can work in your favor. That's what they're saying. So to sum it up, in the 3D right now, you are facing the precipice of a transformation. there is this energy on one hand where you totally recognize what could be very awesome and exciting about this new phase, but you still have some lingering doubts, worries, inevitable kind of fears of what lies on the other side, the fear of the unknown. And however, your eyes are open enough that you can see the difference between, like, you can clearly see the two vibes. You can clearly see the two energies, and you're very drawn to, obviously, the brighter, higher vibe of it all, but you still get pulled down sometimes out of fear of the unknown, in whatever manifestation that may show up in your life. But that is what they're giving me in terms of, this is what your 3D life looks like right now. And that's what's coming to the surface to be resolved, or they want to assist you through that challenge. So I'm going to pull some tarot to see what advice they give for pushing through from this 3D energy into your higher 5D vibe. Okay, we got a lot here. This is this way. Ooh, the Four of Wands and the Emperor, which is also 4. That is really awesome. And they came out together. They came out in reverse, but they came out together. These came out upright and they came out together. The 6 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. Taurus North Node. Okay, I'm getting a message that I may have to lay those differently. Yeah, they want me to lay it differently. Okay, they came out together, but they still want me to lay it one by one. So that, the Four of Wands, no. The Emperor, the Four of Wands. The 6 of Swords and the 9 of Swords, right? The Emperor. Sorry, I'm just going to listen to my guides for a second. Okay, yeah, they said it's fine. So, so I'm getting with the Emperor in reverse in this case that so it's interesting that you have the Empress in the upright and then you have the Emperor in the reverse to clarify it. So I'm getting that this kind of transformation you're facing, you have to let go of the need to want to be in control of it. And we have surrender over here, so that's part of it. respecting the flows of nature is understanding that you cannot control it. You can study it and understand it as much as it allows you to understand it. But that is the beauty of working with, like, hand in hand with the cycles of life and nature, is that there's a certain amount of power that you give, that you acknowledge, that you give to nature, and you acknowledge that nature already has. Nature doesn't really need you, you know. We need it. But so it's, they want you to embrace the change that you're facing at the moment. Because when you can let go of the need to control the narrative, so I'm getting, like, particularly in this intimacy and prosperity, intimacy in that you control how people see you and you control what people know about you. A very Scorpio thing, by the way. You need to let go of that. When you let go of that, there'll be more ease in your life, and you will have more access to these promptings from the universe that are leading you towards the prosperity path, to being able to tap into more of the abundance that is available to you. Now, Four of Wands in the upright, it's celebratory. I see a lot of readers see this as a marriage card. In this case, I'm seeing the need to reconnect with your simple truths and joys. Yeah. They're saying that you're making it more complex than it needs to be sometimes. And that's where these cards come in, the Six of Swords and the Nine of Swords. There's actually a very simple process of letting go that feels like, they showed me like a saw. Someone, sawing a chain, for example. Yeah. Sawing a chain that's connected to a weight. And they're saying that the weight is actually not connected with the chain. It's just connected with the string, and you only have to snip it. But the way that your mind is playing with you is you feel like it's this massive, this massive dramatic moment. The letting go is going to be this massive dramatic thing. And actually, when you let go, it won't be at all. It will be a very surrender, light, feeling. And some of you are really blocking your intuition, because you see the Nine of Swords is sitting here between the third eye and the High Priestess and the surrender. Some of you are really like, why do I think this way? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I not just content with the way things are? Because now I'm going to rock the boat. Now there's the boat in this card. Now I'm going to rock the boat. I'm afraid to rock the boat. I'm afraid to take the journey. What am I going to disappoint people? People are depending on me, and all of this concern around, ending this season, right? But the seasons are meant to change, right? And I think that's it. They just stopped me mid-sentence. Fun. So today is a very high energy day. It's been a high energy week. And Mercury retrograde is an interesting time to read cards during, I'm noticing. So I'm still trying to get a little something from this connection card. I'm shuffling the next deck already, but I really want to get a little more, because I feel like the connection card is just sitting there but not saying much to me at the moment. So let's tap into that for a moment. Yeah, I'm getting to keep an eye out. Like, so you're on this journey. They want you to acknowledge that you're on this journey because, and you know, allow yourself to go on this journey, because like resisting it is also keeping certain people away from you, because our vibration attracts, you know, the right people at the right time. So the vibration you're putting out there by not kind of acknowledging what this snake is bringing up in you is not allowing you. Okay, so I'm getting a very clear, the more that you deny that you have any of these doubts and fears, the less, the harder it is for you to get the helpful people in your life that the universe is actually sending you. So, you know, they are sending you helpful people, helpful circumstances, but they, you know, if you go to a dinner party and someone keeps offering you food, and to be polite, you're like, oh, you know, I'm not hungry. Oh, not hungry. So like, how are you going to get food if you don't admit you're hungry? Right. So this is what they're trying to say. Like, and with the Six of Swords, they're also reassuring you that, you know, people, you are getting this help to get you across the turbulence in divine timing. Like, it's all coming to you. But you do have to take the first step and put your boat in the water in order for your soul tribe and your magical helpers, your earth angels, to come and assist you. All right, so I'm pulling some cards from the, oopsie, is that a slip, or they want this one, but not those, I think. Oh. And the top card, okay. My head is really pounding with this one. I don't know if it's the retrograde or this is the first one I've done in a few days, and so if I'm sighing a lot, it's because I don't want to take anything, because I feel like it's actually just messages that need to be pushed through. So this is the Ashotele deck by Akamara Tarot. I find it really awesome for tapping into ancestral energy, regardless of where your ancestors are from. And this is the deck they wanted me to use today. If I make any pronunciation mistakes, I apologize in advance. This deck is still kind of new to me, so I'm still going through the book and learning everything about the cards and how to pronounce things properly. So this is the Ten of Clubs, Eru, The same sun that melts the wax hardens the clay. Burden was that part of it. Burden. Six of Hearts. Tigoja, past. What you help a child to love can be more important than what you help him to learn. Jack of Clubs. Prince of Fire. Respect begets respect. And key number 15, which is the Tower, I believe. 15 Tower. Oshogbo, a flea can trouble a lion more than a lion can trouble a flea. Interesting. So this is your ancestral energy coming through. No, 15 is the devil. Oh my goodness. So you got the devil twice. Wow. Oh, that's right there. Okay, so right off the bat, let's see these two up here. Did I go the right way? Yeah, I did. So the first thing that I'm getting is from the first card, burden. It seems that there's an energy inside of you. There's also a talent, possibly a talent that it's like you can, depending on how you use it, it can benefit you or not, right? I wouldn't even say not. It's just that you have a variety of ways that you can use your creative energy. And you have a variety of ways that you can make your money is the other. So with this card, they're kind of saying, like, don't burden yourself with thoughts that if you change direction, that it's not, that you're going to lose something. They're saying basically it's a win-win situation. You may change your, you may pivot directions, but either way, you're going to come out fine or better off. Now, I mean, that's only one facet of it, right? So basically, if you're going to be, let's say, financially fine in either case, you might as well do then your choice of how to move forward should not be based on money. It should be based on other factors that, like joy or comforts. I'm getting some of you are contemplating like moving. So if you're between two places in terms of like, and you're trying to go through it, the pros and cons, and you're mostly on the money part of it, they want you to look more to the, like, if you're desiring to live in more nature, if you're having a child and you're looking to move somewhere that has a yard, for example, or that is closer to schools, that basically allows you to have the lifestyle that you envision, even if it's a bit more expensive, do that. Your divine team never is supposed to tell you what to do, but they're telling you that it's safe for you to do. That's the point. Because here, what you help a child to love can be more important than what you help him to learn. So like with the Six of Hearts, which is basically Six of Cups, I'm getting this, the emotional aspect of what you're facing right now, the decision that you're facing, to make a change or to not make a change. The emotional aspect is what is going to be, should play a more of a role in your decision-making process. It's what matters more in the long run. Right? It is what is going to be more fulfilling to you in the long run. And with this Emperor in reverse, you may be hesitating to look at things from this intuitive place as your High Priestess and your third eye here and the Empress. You may be stuck on a very rational plane. And they're saying, forget the rationality for now. Like, rationality definitely plays a role in life, but you have to make space for your soul to be happy and free, and you have to make space to create the environment that you thrive in. And you have to have the courage to, trust that making decisions from that intuitive place is a valid way of making decisions. We're moving to that collectively, moving from, into a more, honoring more of what is considered feminine energy, which intuition falls under. So trusting that as a real way to navigate life. We're trying to balance those two, navigating life with the intellectual, active side of things, strength and doing, and also manifesting from, moving, flowing with cycles, flowing with nature, intuitive, energetic, moon attributes, let's say. Okay, go to the next card because I'm seeing the time running. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to keep you quite long. Prince of Fire, the Jack of... I just skipped trying to say the front part, so please forgive me if you are a practitioner of this tradition. I just don't want to pay any disrespect to the tradition. Jack of Clubs. Respect begets respect. Oh, ooh. Ooh. So, yeah, I'm getting basically from this, I think I was saying earlier that you may be worried about disappointing people, or let's say rocking other people's boat by making a decision based on like your heart's desire. And they're basically saying, go boldly forward. And if you're doing that, just make sure that whoever needs to know what they need to know, in the time that they need to know it, give them that respect. So, okay, they gave me a few. If you're quitting your job, give your boss sufficient notice. If you're breaking up with someone, actually have the conversation face to face, if at all possible. If you are moving out of a place that you've lived for a long time, give your landlord sufficient notice as well. Because however you move into the next chapter will determine how smoothly the transition goes for you. So if there are any, you have to respect the process as well. You have to respect the rebirth, meaning that, so when you're leaving something behind, for example, you're not going to say, okay, that was crap. F you all, I'm moving on to higher heights kind of thing. There were things that nurtured you in those past years and where you were. So you don't have to poo-poo on it. You move on with gratitude and respect for what was. And That is like planting seeds for your future, is what your ancestors are saying there. And the last one with the devil, again, a flea can trouble a lion more than a lion can trouble a flea. That is very interesting. I'm getting from this that interesting. This case, the message that's coming through to me is that like even the smallest of changes can have an impact, you know. So you don't have to jump off the deep end and make all of this transition at once. So whatever energy you're seeking to like move towards, you can do it in small measured ways to get to that point, to the bigger manifestation of what you want. I'm still seeing someone having a baby. And for those of you that are having a baby, and I totally losing your ish at the moment because it's coming soon and you don't feel ready, it's just saying that, you know, the little things will count as well. You know, you'll never be completely ready. You'll never feel completely ready. You know, it's a process of going with the flow and getting to know your child, right? And as you get to know your child, you know what they like, you know, where if they prefer the crib on that side of the room, the other side of the room, if they like a mobile, if they don't, you know, it's all a process of, you know, what that saying, they're giving me that saying that there's no big deeds, only small deeds done with big love. I think that's what it is. Something like that. And that's what your ancestors are saying at this point, for all of you. So if you stuck around and this whole hour and however many minutes it's been now, quite a few, I'm going to pull some oracle cards for you, and I hope you have gotten some helpful messages thus far. My headache is starting to subside. That's nice. So yeah, it must have been a message that needed to be pushed through, because yeah, it was beating like a drum. So I'm actually going to pull 3 oracle cards in total from 3 different decks. This first deck is the Elemental Oracle. Closing Oracle for Taurus North Node. They may not have one from this deck for you today, but I'll give it a little bit. No, they don't have anything from this deck, so I'm only pulling 2. We're going straight to the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed for Taurus North Node. There we go. Mending, number 52. And I'll pull one from Return of Spirit by Cheryl Lee Harnish. Okay. Yes. Voice. Ooh. I wonder if some of you are singers. Because this is not even, throat chakra color. This is the same purple coming through from the third eye card. See that there. Na-na-da-na. All right, so I'm going to read from the guidebook for each of these cards. If something comes up intuitively, if they send me any other messages while I'm reading from the guidebook, I will let you know after I've read the description. Okay, let's start with mending, number 52. Okay. Mending, essential meanings, forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. Okay. Each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. Oh, look, there's burden. Remember that card from your ancestors there. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal, the pain, the memories, the echoes. Okay, turning the page. The echoes of resentments and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, to make amends to others. Set yourself free. The relationship message and the prosperity message as well. So relationship message. You've come to a place where forgiveness is necessary if you're to move forward. Separate or together, you and the other person are still experiencing the effects of a hurt that is impacting everything you do, even if you're not aware of it. The energy needs to clear. What must you do to bridge this gap? Closing your heart is not the answer. You have the power to heal this wound. Ask yourself, what would love do? Only good will come of forgiveness and an honest redress. And the prosperity message, everyone makes mistakes, especially when you want something very badly. You may come to realize that in chasing after a pretty shiny thing, you lost sight of long-term sustainable prosperity. Sometimes you make choices that look good at first, but ultimately lead to loss or failure. It's time to forgive yourself and others. Don't blame anyone else. You get to start again, wiser and more mature. The journey to true abundance can be bumpy. Make amends to anyone you may have hurt along the way, especially yourself. Forgive those who may have taken advantage of you. Let go and learn from this. You are now that much closer to achieving the kind of prosperity that really fulfills you. Nothing is ever lost or wasted when you view it from this perspective. All right, so there was 3 different messages there. We were more during this reading on the prosperity path, but for some of you, there may have been something in the relationship and the general oracle message, especially around forgiveness and letting go of the past, so that you can move forward into the new energy. All right, and then voice from Return of Spirit. Sometimes I say Return to Spirit, but it's Return of Spirit. Okay. Voice, let your voice be heard. You are a beautiful and wise being of the divine, made to bring forth your individual truth and expression. No more holding back, no more staying small. You are being called now to use the gift of your words and the power of your voice. What you have to say is important. What you have to share is needed. You could be finding yourself being asked to step out in front of groups to talk, or you may be finding that situations keep coming up where you are being given an opportunity to be vocal about what you think, believe, or feel. For many of us, this does not come easily. Often we have had past experiences which discouraged us from expressing ourselves openly. It is time to begin and heal those old understandings and allow yourself to be seen and heard. Each of us has a unique expression. Whether you are being asked to sing, chant, pray, speak, or teach, it is your voice that needs to be heard. This can also be related to simply stating what is true for you in your relationships. It could involve stating your point of view, needs, or desires, regardless of how different they may be. Yes, we said this. It's time to remember who you are. You are a spark of God. Stand up for yourself, stand tall in what you believe, speak from your heart, and your words will always be heard. Your voice is a gift, and it is meant to be shared. You are about to empower yourself in a way that you have not experienced before. You will notice that by taking this step of being vocal, you fall more into alignment of what you are really here to do. Yes. They pointed me to this card. I'm just going to go rewind myself a little bit. This came totally, they put this card in front of me when speaking to the mending. And to your voice. You know, I guess it can sound cheesy, but do unto others as you have done unto yourself. So if people have mistreated you, I'm not saying go make peace with someone who was really horrible to you, but at the same time, you don't have to stoop to their level either. You don't have to go and bake them cookies or anything, but you can let it go without resentment, because that clears your path. That's freedom for you. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself, right? And using your voice is also about freeing yourself, giving yourself the freedom to have space to express what is the truth of your soul and your being. And that is what they want for you, Taurus North Node, in the month of, what month is it? October, from the new moon to the new moon in November. So that is all I have for you. Thanks for sticking around. I know it was a long one this month, but there's a lot of energies out and around and about us. And I hope I've helped you in some way navigate these choppy seas at the moment. And I hope to see you next month at the new moon. In the meantime, if you so desire, you can click on the link below for the extended reading, Everyday Alchemy and Practical Magic, and get some tools that will help and support you to integrate all of this energy and align with your highest path in the next 4 weeks. Check it out. All right. Taurus North Node, it was a pleasure. Take care, be well, and stay blessed.